Leading off our discussion tonight is Texas State Senator Roland Gutierrez. He represents Texas' 19th District, which includes Uvalde. Senator, thank you very much for joining us once again tonight. And this is not the only program you've been sharing information with. You have been, by far, the most available public official in Uvalde, representing Uvalde, communicating with us and with your community. Why haven't we had another press conference with another update similar to the false press conference that was filled with what seemed to be details about the shooting the day after the shooting? Why hasn't anyone come back to revisit all of that and go through everything?
Well, thank you, Lawrence. And as it appears tonight at 5 o'clock, you're probably not going to get that press conference from the law enforcement authorities, from any of them, quite frankly, because the district attorney has suggested that that she is taking over the investigation, and there might be at some point some kind of grand jury, I suppose. I'm not sure who would be indicted in this case. Certainly there was a lot of malfeasance. Certainly we saw a failure at every law enforcement level, not just Arredondo. And that failure has been expressed by Colonel Steve McGraw and others publicly. And so there is no doubt that there was system failure, that there was human failure, and it ended up in this terrible and tragic loss of life.
Well, the district attorney taking over an investigation like this would make a public announcement about that, face the cameras, answer questions as much as possible about that investigation. The only person who we know committed a crime in that school is dead and was killed by police in the school. So there is no murder investigation to conduct because there is no possible murder defendant to charge. And so this, I have to say, from this distance, Senator, smells as a device that is uniquely designed to extend a cover-up as long as possible. A district attorney saying, everyone has to shut up now because I'm going to run a grand jury that has to operate in secrecy. That is just a formula, as far as I can tell, from that local community to completely shut off any inquiry and all questions.
Well, I tend to agree with you, Lawrence, especially when the report that I was supposed to get tomorrow was a report that told me specifically where law enforcement was, both in that hallway and in and around the building. We know that from 12:03 to 12:48, little kids were calling 911, 9-year-olds and 10-year-olds. We know that 19 officers were in that building. Last week, I was told that there was 2 DPS officers in that room. Today, I was told that there was between 2 and 13 DPS officers at any given time. Certainly, this failure that we've seen is so tragic and so sad. It is my hope that law enforcement over the course of the next few days finally decides to just pull the Band-Aid on this thing and tell us the truth. This community deserves to know the truth, and these parents deserve to know the truth. As I stated before,
why isn't Governor Greg Abbott demanding the truth, the public truth, from Arredondo and everyone else involved?
You know, Lawrence, I think that there's some bigger questions to be had here. The governor has spent $4 billion along the border in the last 9-10 months. $4 billion. That's 40 times more than he spent on school hardening. And all those officers that he had for the so-called border security crisis, 60 or 70 of them were at this site. And 60 or 70 officers along with these others. Look, I respect law enforcement, but I didn't sign up to be an officer. At the end of the day, those officers abrogated their duty on active shooter protocols. What we also uncovered today from CSEC, which is the Commission on State Emergency Communications, was that the Uvalde Police was managing the 911 calls, and certainly everybody had access to them. So there is this tremendous cover-up and an unwillingness to tell the truth. And I think that it, in part and parcel, is because of this tremendous waste of money that has happened along the border. And the officers that are supposed to be down there didn't actually go in there and breach that door.